Okay, the Jays are back from their 3-5 10-day road trip, Shy, where John Schneider said it actually felt like 15, which is never a good thing. But how much does this 2-day break help the Jays, especially with the pitching staff?
Well, it's always a good opportunity to reset when you've got a couple of days back to back. It's not very usual for this time of year, so certainly the Blue Jays will look to take advantage of it. Obviously, there's going to be a comeuppance in September when they have to play two on a given day. But for the Blue Jays, this gives them an opportunity to push Jose Barrios back a day. He gets an extra day of rest. He gets to pitch at home where he's had a lot more success this year as opposed to the road. And then it gives them a few options in their starting rotation, which they were kicking around some different ideas. Maybe they give Alek Manoah an extra day. Maybe they move some guys around in the time being. It just affords them a little bit of flexibility. And for the position players, hey, they can always use an extra day or two at this time of year.
Jays have a tough stretch coming up against playoff hopeful teams or teams that are in a playoff position right now. 13 against the Orioles left on the season. And normally you may say, yay, but it hasn't been that way, especially the past few weeks or months. So how well are the Jays positioned for the long run, for the postseason?
Well, essentially right now, they're in control of their own fate, which is where you want to be. They're not dependent on anybody else to win them some games in order for them to make a move in the standings. Basically, they can just rely on themselves. So from that standpoint, it's certainly a place that you'd want to be. Now, the schedule, which going into this season would have looked pretty favorable considering how much Baltimore is left on it. That's certainly changed right now. Baltimore has been one of the better teams in the American League in recent months, and they've been playing some pretty good baseball. They're not the rollover that they expected them to be, so the Blue Jays may have a bit more of a challenge there than they might have expected, but they're certainly a deep enough team that they should be able to push the Orioles back and be able to withstand that challenge. And so, when they look at the playoff teams around them, all they have to do is take care of their own business, and if they do that, they're going to be just fine through this difficult stretch.
Speaking of their own business, Ross Stripling, what's the status on him, and how valuable is it to get a guy like him back in the rotation?
Yeah, well, he's due to have a rehab start at AAA Buffalo on Friday. And look, getting him back is going to give the Blue Jays more options. Right now, they're still trying to get Yusei Kikuchi back straight, have him be consistent. They don't have that right now. Mitch White, who was meant to kind of be in the Ross Stripling role in terms of a swing guy, he could go back to that role where he doesn't have to be in the rotation filling spots. And once they do that, they'll have a little bit more depth in their pitching staff. They'll be able to afford to do different things with their rotation should they choose to do, especially with Yusei Kikuchi if he doesn't find a way to get himself straightened down and be a bit more consistent. So once Ross Stripling returns, assuming everything goes to plan on Friday, some doors open up for the Blue Jays that they currently don't have.
All right, Shai Davidi, thanks so much.
Anytime.